Hello, this is Silly One or RIL making a new video review. From this time it's a video comparison between the Revoltech Evangelion Evolution Unit 02 and its Robot Damashii version, which I was convinced to buy. I'll be comparing them side by side, starting with the box. The Robot Damashii box is much smaller than a Revoltech box. Small enough to fit inside a Revoltech box. Yeah, I did it for the sake of the joke. Well, let's see. The Robot Damashii box is much simpler than the Revoltech one. It doesn't go with flashy designs or many ways to portray the figure in action. But it does tell a lot about what it's inside. The Revoltech blister is black to make contrast of the figure and has a clear cover. The Robot Damashii is completely clear. So here we go, and this is the Robot Damashii, and this is the Evangelion Evolution version. We can see there is not much of a difference in height. Maybe Robot Damashii is a bit higher, but well, let's just start comparing them, okay? We'll be starting with the head. I don't know how far you can disassemble a Robot Damashii, but I'll do it with the figures assembled completely. The head, it's much flatter on the sides of the Robot Damashii. It looks stretched upwards. It has a lot more of minute detail when compared to the Revoltech one, but then again, it's pretty much the same head. When it comes to motion, the Revoltech can move the neck and then the head down like this, and the Robot Damashii can't go as far as the Revoltech. In comparison, the Robot Damashii can move its head fully up, all the way up, and the Revoltech can't as much. Oh, it can. That's a point. Now, the way the pylons move. The Robot Damashii has this little peg that attaches to the upper part of the shoulder and allows a certain degree of independent motion from the arm, when compared to the Revoltech, which moves completely with the arm like this. It's kind of a disadvantage, some say. I believe it's more screen accurate, the fact that since the pylon is on the arm, it should move along with it. Then again, if you move the arm all the way up, the pylon will go all the way down. And in our Robot Damashii, since the arm moves independently, it will stay like this, which I don't believe it's quite, let's say, possible. Now, the Robot Damashiis have an articulation that the Revoltechs lack, which is the ability to move the arm up and down without actually moving it. I don't actually find any use for that. Then again, I have spent less than 24 hours with this. The arm can swing freely like this and bend this way and this way like this. Pretty much the same the Revoltech can do. It cannot move up and down, but it can do this and spin all the way around. Yeah, there. Now, when it comes to the elbow, both figures are pretty much the same. They can move it on the same direction, spin it in the same way, even unnatural ones, and well, they're pretty much on the same level there. The wrist articulation is, on the other hand, so to speak, it's rather different. The joint on the Revoltech can be detached with the hand. On the Robot Damashii, if you pull, you will only take out the hand, and the joint will remain there, which I think is a plus, because the Revoltech joint on the wrists of the Evangelion Evolution EVAs are really small and cannot be replaced easily because there are no spare joints of that size. A normal joint won't fit in the tiny hole that they made for the hands. Here we see that the robot Damashii has a higher degree of bending on the torso. The thing is that if you bend back, all the way back, the middle joint will appear and look rather bad on it. The Revoltech, if you stretch it too much, you will only see these black linings here, which are more screen accurate when you consider that you actually never see a big joint in the middle of any of the EVAs. When it comes to design, on the other hand, the V shape of the plates is more accurate in the robot Damashii because of this little flap that makes the white one. The Revoltech are all completely V-shaped to help aid with the articulation. When it comes to the leg articulation, is where the figures really can be tell apart. The Revoltechs can bend legs like this, make a complete split. The robot Damashii can too, but it's a little harder. I think mine has some factory defect because the leg moves but the joint on the hip doesn't, so I'm afraid I will break it one of these days if I'm not careful enough. But they have a separate joint in here that allows them to go like this. You can see it here, and allows the robot Damashii to do poses like this one. The Revoltech has a Revoltech joint which wasn't present for some reason in pretty much every other EVA, and allows a figure to do this. Additionally, there's this little black piece that can be hidden within to cover, and then you have this gap here. If you see it from this angle, and the Rebel have this black piece here to cover for it. After that, the knees are another Revoltech joint. In here they are these two separate joints that can move freely one from another, like this. This is definitely more screen accurate because whenever you see a Bandai model or an statue, you see this black shape on the knees of the EVA. The Revoltechs are just these balls that look off here. The 2.0 mold had a double joint here that looked a little bit more like in the movie, but still looked really big when compared to the rest of the size of the leg. Finally, on the Revoltech Evolution version, these parts are made of rubber and move with the foot. The robot Damashii version is a little peg here, made of molded on a softer material. I think it's either that or it's a very thin layer, so it feels squeezable. The feet of the robot Damashii are rather limited in motion when compared to the one that the Revoltech joint provides. The toe articulation, it's rather stiff on the Revoltech, so it helps aid when standing in this pose, because on the 2.0 mold this will go all the way here. On the other hand, this one, far from stiff, it's kind of hard to move. I think you have to soften the articulations. The other thing that I didn't like is the fact that you see the piece of metal that moves the toe right here, crossing through the feet. The next thing to review are the extras that come with the figures. First, the sonic crossbow, the trademark weapon on Evangelion 2.0. The Revoltech version has many other details that are not present on the robot Damashii version, despite the robot Damashii version is bigger, just slightly bigger. they are pretty much in the same color, and there is not such a big difference between one another, except for this gap not complete for the hands of the Revoltech Eva. They're pretty much the same. Next we have the Thunder Spear, that is a weapon that is used briefly on Evangelion 2.0. It was first released as an extra for a figure with the robot Damashii. It will later be included in the robot Damashii Beast Mode Eva Unit 02. Difference would be that it will be completely collapsible. For screen accuracy, the blade will unfold and the stock will extend like this. The Revoltech version this time is bigger and has a lot more of small details in here across the lining. The difference is that the Revoltech version, in the Revoltech version, these black lines are painted differently than in the robot Damashii. The difference is the color of this grip-like thing. In the Revoltech version it is more orange than this one that is more yellow. And the paint application in the robot Damashii one, it's rather... how can we say it? Not good. I can see the brush passing by like this. Next part to review are the figure's progressive knives. Here we are. Oh, like this. The Revoltech version is once again bigger. The details on and the linings are more precise in this one. There are more points on the grip of the knife and here than on this version. The last thing to review are the S-type equipment wings that are seen briefly in the movie. On the Revoltech version they are held by this little peg about the shoulder, which allows it to move along with the arm. On the Revoltech and the robot Damashii version is held the same way with a little peg here. The Revoltech version is again bigger. The 2.0 mold had a lot of issues with this. The arms were hard to move because this piece will go further down, limiting the way the arm would move. Since this time the wing moves with the arm, I think it can swing more freely. The Revoltech version, given the way the shoulder moves, it can move its arm all the way like this, and since the wing will move with the arm, it can go freely. The thing with the robot Damashii and the wing part is that since the wing will either collide with the arm or with its own motion degree, it will fall off or limit the way the arm moves. So the arm can go all the way like this. The pylon will stop and reveal this gap that is not supposed to be present. The last part to review are the S-type equipment forearms. On the Revoltech version there is another forearm sculpted. It's not hard to change, you just have to pull the joints and place them in the new arm. This time the robot Damashii goes more practical because you only have to detach this part of the armor and place the S-type armor like this. And the last thing that comes with both figures is the umbilical cable that attaches to the back of the figure. Here's the robot Damashii one. It inserts just the same way. My final opinion is that I definitely go with the Revoltechs. Why? Well, first is the sculpt. Many people liked more the robot Damashii sculpt. I found it not good. The head and the upper B plate, the one on the chest, looked narrow when compared to the rest of the body. I liked more the Revoltech version, that it's wider. The way the pylons move, it was pretty original when compared to the 2.0 Revoltech, which was held on the back of the figure and limited the way the arm would move. They fixed that problem in a very interesting way on the Revoltech Evolution version. The hips, the horrible hips of the robot Damashii. I didn't like them in the very first moment I saw it, and I don't like them now that I have the figure here with me. The knee articulation on the robot Damashii is more screen accurate than this little ball in here. And finally, the hands. I like more the idea that the joint remains attached to the figure so that you don't lose it if you are changing hands of the Revoltech version. Well, I've expressed my opinion. I stay with the Revoltech. I bought the robot Damashii and I didn't like it, whatever you may say now. And this is Silly1 or Rael, making a video comparison of the robot Damashii and the Revoltech Evangelion Evolution Unit 02 from Revoltech and Bandai. Thanks for watching.